The NBA has one of the most stacked Hall of Fame classes we've gotten in recent memory. Brandon, he gets his guy Dwyane Wade to the Hall of Fame. My guy Dirk Nowitzki. We get Tony Parker, Greg Popovich, Becky Hammon, and Pau Gasol. And it's pretty cool. In a day and age where half the league superstars are international players, Luka, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, so on and so forth, this Hall of Fame class is representative of that. Pau Gasol from Spain. You get Dirk from Germany, Tony Parker from France, and then I think Manu Ginobili's up next soon, Argentina's very own. It's really awesome to see while the league is getting more and more international, that so is the Hall of Fame, globalizing. I think Pau Gasol is one of the most underappreciated stars because he helped Kobe get his fourth and fifth rings. And Dwyane Wade, man, this is awesome. This is one of my favorite Hall of Fame classes.
Wade County, well deserved. Favorite player of all time. Reason I became a basketball fan. Reason I'm a Miami Heat fan. Dwayne freaking Wade. I love this jersey, by the way. The color is just
No, that's sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
I looked up greatest Hall of Fame classes ever, right? Because I wanted to compare them. You have the 09 class of MJ, David Robinson, and Stockton, right? Then you have the 2020 class, which I think is probably looked at as maybe the best. You know, MJ being in 09 might give them the edge, but 2020, Kobe, Duncan, and Garnett, that's top level stuff. And then this year is just, I think overall, this year might be the best of all time. They don't have somebody that's looked at as the greatest player, but they have Dwayne Wade, third greatest shooting guard of all time. And I think universally loved and appreciated by NBA fans. You got Dirk Nowitzki, top two power forward of all time. Pau Gasol, top 10 power forward of all time. You got Tony Parker, a four-time champion in the NBA.
Finals MVP.
Yep, Finals MVP too. You got Becky Hammon, who I think was a champion in the WNBA as a player and just won a WNBA championship as a coach, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay. And then you have who I believe is the greatest head coach in basketball history is Greg Popovich, Pop. So I think this class is just so well-rounded. I mean, what a class. I love it. You know, and these are players that, I mean, Wade, Dirk, Powell, Tony Parker, Pop, the coach. These are players that I were the early, memories of my NBA fandom. So shout out to the 2023 NBA Hall of Fame class. Well-deserved and well-earned.
I was going to say that, Brandon. I think one of the true signs that I'm getting old is that all these players that are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame now are the people that I was watching when I fell in love with the sport. So guys like Wade, Dirk, Powell, Pop, all of these people are the people that I made me fall in love with the sport of basketball. But one thing that's so special about this class, and I'd say this about any player, what makes a player so special, if they are a true legend or a Hall of Famer, is you forget the bad years. You forget the bad years. We don't talk about Tony Parker playing with the Hornets. We don't talk about Dwayne Wade playing in Cleveland. We don't talk about Pau Gasol, and even though he actually was successful in Chicago, but we don't really talk about those years so much because we're so, I'm trying to find the words for it, but we're so captivated by their best years. Wade's championship years in Miami, even before LeBron. And we talked Powell with Kobe, that duo, and how unstoppable that was. Dirk's insane finals run to knock off LeBron. We can talk about these moments forever, and they'll always live on. We'll never talk about them declining. We'll never talk about how Father Time finally caught up with them. It's a special class. And a class that I'm grateful for because, like I said, these are people we all grew up watching. Damn, I'm getting old, man. I am getting old.
I've tried to do some research as to why Greg Popovich is eligible still as a head coach, because in my time as an NBA fan, I figured it would have been the same as players. You have 5 full years, but apparently Greg Popovich has resisted being in the Hall of Fame. Now he goes in at the same time as two of his former players and one of his former assistants. Man, I feel like Pau Gasol is one of the most underappreciated players of all time, though. And a lot of people won't give him the credit in this class. One of the greatest players ever from Spain, his brother, of course. 2-time champ, 4-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Star for 3 different franchises in 2 separate decades. I mean, Pau is 35 years old in Chicago, helping them in the post Derrick Rose era really extend to contending prime, winning 50 games for them in 2015. And he was always overshadowed by KG, Dirk, and Duncan. But he was a guy that in Memphis was also leading 48 win playoff teams. And I feel like maybe I'm a Grizzlies fan, so I appreciate him more than other people. It's not like I watched him. I mean, he was drafted before I was born, 2 years before. But Pau Gasol to me, he is a top 50, top 40 player of all time. And I think he really should be remembered. I don't know if he will be remembered,